Hey yo, how you doing? Now we come to this. Can I say something more? Led Zeppelin, When the Giants Walk on Earth by Mickey Wall. This is the Brazilian version too. And this picture is just fucking amazing, man. Love it too. And you have these things about Led Zeppelin is a kind of interesting band, right? Uh, so, uh, some of you know the story of formation of Led Zeppelin, and this book is very detailed about it. It's of course show first the. I remember now my first contact with Led Zeppelin, knowing that it was Led Zeppelin, was there is a TV soap opera here in Brazil called Top Model, and Starway to Heaven was in the soundtrack, and it was very famous. I guess in the 90s. You can check the internet later. And I remember that it's not that I didn't like the song, but I said it's too hippie, man. This flute sound, like oh peace and love and all this shit. And then I asked some friend, oh, what the fuck the band is that? And he said Led Zeppelin. And when I was young, I it just clicked because I just said, oh man, I remember Led Zeppelin, and I remember that I hate Led Zeppelin because I didn't like too much Robert Plant's vocal because he stayed like baby, baby, like whole lot of love, all these things. I felt weird. And at that time I was into Deep Purple a lot. And to me, Gillan's approach to vocal was uh, more male, I could say. To me, Plant was kind of soft in that sense, and he has such high voice, like female voice, in a way. Uh, but later on, I found out they were a great band and all these things. Of course, there's controversy about Led Zeppelin. Even now, we are 2016. They were in the court because of Stairway to Heaven. So it was alleged that they stole Stairway to Heaven from a band called Spirit. Uh, and they won the case, right? But anyways, in this book you have like the develop from because Jimmy Page also played in the Yardbirds, like Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck. Yardbirds was a great combination of musicians, huh? Um, and he in sometime during Yardbirds he even played bass. Uh, so he had a contract to fulfill, and because the band Yardbirds, the band members left and just stayed Jimmy Page and Peter Grant, the manager of the band. There's something else interesting in this book. You see that how important it is to have a strong, literally a strong manager to defend your rights as a band or as a musician. And they had in the figure of Peter Grant. So they started picking up some musicians. And that's interesting because Page was looking for a guy like Rodgers, or even himself, the Paul Rodgers himself. There's a singer called Terry Butler. So names were around, but established with John Bonham drums, um, Robert Plant and vocals, Jim Page on guitars and production, and Joe Paul Jones on the bass. And it was a kind of interesting mix because Page and Jones, they were like they were working musicians, famous. Page has played in the Who songs, the Kinks songs, and Jones had produced or made arrangement for Rolling Stones, Donovan, and all these things. While Plant and Bonham, they were like virgins in this meaning. But it worked, and they put together a lot of records, a lot of great records. you know. And one of the best thing about Zeppelin is not just about music, the music they do, but about production, about recording, doing a good recording, you know. Uh, uh, how to record a heavy blues, you know. So, and that's it makes a big difference, you know. So they start in this kind of hard rock, heavy blues with some ballads, with some different stuff, like some Indian music inside of that, you know. And people used to call them one of the main names about. Oh, look at this picture, nice, right? One of the main names on heavy metal, you know, but they didn't consider themselves heavy metal because they play a lot of different styles of music. If you get like records like Presence, Coda, even Physical Graffiti, that's my favorite one because you have a lot of different styles of music in the record, you know. Then you can see they are not just a hard rock band, but of course they got famous for A Whole Lot of Love, Heartbreaker, you know, all this heavy stuff, you know, Good Times, Bad Times. They're great too. The only thing I can say badly about these guys, it's because they used to get to rip off some songs from blues musicians and don't give credit, you know. In some cases, they, for example, if you get like songs, the Lemon song, for example, was stolen from a Howlin' Wolf song. Then you have one song that I love, When the Levee Breaks. It was inspired by Memphis Mini, When the Levee Breaks. But actually, if you listen, Jimmy Page gave a good explanation about this song I'm talking. He said that the harmonies and melodies are different, but the same thing is the lyrics. So he put this on the Robert Plant's account, you know. But Lemon Song, the riff, he stolen from Hubert Sumlin, the guitar player from Muddy Waters and Howlin' Wolf, you know. So this is but this is a typical in the blues, you know. You're doing like that, you're doing like this. It's a great book because it shows like they developed the band until the end when John Bonham died, and they decided they could not continue without Bonham because Bonham was a key element in the band. Actually, they say if any of the band members died, they didn't keep on with the band. They tried sometimes later. They had a horrible, I say horrible because it is, experience with Phil Collins. It didn't work. Live Aid. Then they try with Jason Bonham, and it's also Jason Bonham who plays in the Celebration Day DVD.